These are the words of an East African queen, the story of Rwanda's child, a reflection of the many diamonds that are the continent's women. She is all of us wrapped in one. She is I. Ordinary, yet gifted extraordinarily. I have found the courage to use my voice to stand and speak for the beauty of community. To give, even when I had the least, to believe, even when it was easier to give in. My name is Natasha Muhoza. I am 28 years, a lawyer, an artist of written word, a spoken word poet as well. I currently work with the Commonwealth Secretariat based in London. Well, my parents chose Riviera High School for me. I sort of, found that also fate chose Riviera High School for me. I used to live and study in Uganda before that, only coming home for holidays and coming home to be with family. However, most of my time used to be spent in Uganda. And so Riviera High School was almost a blessing in disguise for my parents because it was a new school setup that was not too different from the Ugandan sort of system that we had previously. And so my parents felt comfortable bringing us back home, and of course they wanted us to be closer to them. And so Riviera High School came as a very timely establishment. My favorite classes, I would say, were all the English literature classes. Actually, also because all my teachers in my English and literature classes used to be my favorite. I loved history lessons as well. I have always loved history. Even though music, dance and drama was never one of our classes, and the sport element of the school, those were also some of my favorite things to be a part of in high school. So yeah, I would say English literature, history, economics in A-levels was one of my absolute favorite subjects, and yes, the arts and sports. Coming to Riviera in S2 for me was just a new experience of high school. It was not too difficult to transition. I already had a taste of the first year of high school, and so I wasn't too scared of the transition, but the transition was different from country to country. And so coming from a primary school and S1 system in Uganda, coming to, changing completely to a new environment in Rwanda, even though it was amazing because Rwanda is home and it is, the country of my descent, it is still, it was a bit challenging to transition, but in a very short time in my S2, my first year of being at Riviera, I found a great community of friends, a great community of teachers. Actually, I happened to be friends with quite a few of my teachers, and it ended up being enjoyable, and the transition was easier to handle. I don't know what clubs are there now. However, I would recommend, the things I was part of. Debate club, I actually led the debate club for a good number of years. I was, at the time, active in sports, in pretty much all the sports. I used to be in the swimming team. I was active in my clubs, my sports teams competition. I was in Dabaga, in yellow. I don't know if Dabaga is still the name of the yellow team, but I used to be in that one. And so for me, anything sports and arts related, I would say jump in, because that's really your starting ground and your foundation platform for the rest of your life. It allowed me to express myself, it allowed me to create communities, especially sports allowed me to deal with, to learn very well how to work in teams, play in teams, stay maintain a team spirit, and that has carried me through the rest of my life past high school. I used to also I was in student leadership. At some point I was trying to remember the posts I held. So I was assistant dormitory captain, and then the next thing I did was to be the student head prefect. And I happened to be the first female, and I think I'm still the only female who has held that position. I hope more girls will stand for student leadership in Riviera, because that is absolutely needed. I enjoyed my time that year, and it was a brilliant experience for me. So student leadership, sports, and all sorts of art-related activities, but even academic-related clubs like science clubs and all the other types of clubs that might exist, I'd say jump in without hesitation. It prepared me in the sense that, coming into a new environment with new people from everywhere in the region, and especially because, we had a lot of students coming from everywhere in the region, Burundi, especially during my time, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, we had a lot of friends. For me, that was an environment to explore myself in a new world almost. And so Riviera prepared me and really shaped some of my strongest values of, strong-willedness, independence, self-drive. It allowed me to explore my leadership capabilities, my capabilities with public speaking, things that you might take for granted, but actually are very, very important in the rest, in one's future. And so it prepared me to test out my character and to test out the things I was learning about life, from a neutral ground where I was now, everybody else around me was also exploring and trying to be to find the best of themselves. And so Riviera for me was just, was really, really the place that formed the stronger part of me. Yeah. So for potential students, I would advise that one, you embrace the opportunity that Riviera presents. Also because it did that for me. It has done that for so many others. We are all learning ourselves. We are all learning the world, and Riviera is, I think, very good space. Also because it is a boarding school, but also that offers really good quality experience. It's not a place you go to suffer. You actually go and enjoy meeting new people and making new friendships. And actually, most of my friends from Riviera remain some of my closest friends to date. I have maintained lifelong relationships just because I was present in Riviera at the time when I was, and therefore I think it's a good choice, which I hope you do not hesitate to make. Riviera really, really, really provided that solid ground for me to soar, and which thankfully I am. No, I just always thought, what, I will do and be something great. I just didn't know what it was. Actually, I was resistant to doing law even, but I knew that I loved the creative arts. So for me, in Riviera, that was the launching pad. Creative arts was the space. It is still the space where I think I express myself the best. I love spending time more with artists than any other profession. I mean, everyone else brings a beautiful thing to the table, but over time, I think the creative arts really provided a space for me to even see myself as a lawyer or as a potential sports person or as whatever else I would have wanted or dreamed to be. And therefore, when I finally made the decision to pursue law and to do it and to find the love for it, I think I could trace it back to some of the space that I had, that Riviera provided for me to express myself or to do the things that I just chose to do. When I made the decision to pursue law, it came to me as an addition to the many things I had already been allowed to be and already been provided for the space to be. And I'm thankful for, just all the growth on this journey, especially in the legal career, which is a very tough one sometimes, but also very rewarding. And I know for sure that I will not be the last you know, lawyer doing big, amazing things in the world from Riviera. I hope to see so many more of you coming out and shining in the world.